Fedica lets you schedule polls across platforms so you can engage with your community no matter where they're at and get a lot more direct feedback. So let's go to the publishing section and schedule a poll here. Let's go to the create post area, and then in our scheduler, let's create a poll. All you need to do is just hit the poll button here and then add your options. Sweet, so you get a max of 4 options like platforms let you do. You can pick a day, let's make it 7 days, and then hours and time if you have something time sensitive. But what's great with Fedica is you can cross post instantly like this. This is going to go to each of these 4 platforms. You just pick the platforms here, and then we are always adding more capabilities as they come available. But so far, these are the supported platforms. And then you can also customize them. So let's go to customize posts. Here, it's a breakdown. You can make sure that your poll is going to land with the audience depending on the vibe of the platform. So with X, for example, we might say something like, are you scheduling polls to X and other platforms? And then there you go. People can select and pick that. And of course, we let you do the most with what's available to each platform. So you can hit the communities button here and make sure this goes right to a community. If you're organizing it that way, maybe this goes to your elite membership, for example, or on Mastodon, you might add a content warning for a spoiler if you're polling about something that just happened, for example. Maybe Threads, you can post this directly using the specific hashtags that you're going to add there. It's going to go to that topic. And then this way, you know that you're going to get the most output from the polls depending on how they're organized for each platform here. So, and another ability you have here is to add polls to your threads. So you can just keep adding more polls if you have a bunch of, like a big questionnaire for something important for your audience, or you can create a whole thread, you know, you're talking about something and then you poll your audience at the end, you know, to get that direct feedback on your content itself. So this is a great way to show that you are listening to your audience and that you want their feedback and you're improving your content, for example. Or it's just a great way to, you know, make your surveys more accessible to people who don't want to subscribe to your email list, for example. As we have it right now, these polls are going to schedule to the calendar and it's going to be as one post, but it's going to be customized for each platform. So let's send it to our calendar for just tomorrow using the specific date. And then this way you can pick the audience as well, optimize for different time zones, or you can just send it off. So let's add this to calendar and let's check it out. So this should be for tomorrow. There it is. So it's one post, but you know when you look at the preview here that it's still customized for the platform as you see the text change here. So this gives you complete control. You know, you can meet your audience where they're at with the vibe that you feel are different between each platform, so you can show up more authentic to your audience. And if you want to take this a step further, you can automate things. If you want to attach it to a queue that has its own schedule, like our blog here, for example, you can create a poll queue that has its own schedule. Let's say you're going to ask questions, get audience feedback once a week, twice a week. You can do that by just setting up a queue. In the queue section here, go to publish, hit the queue section, and then you can add one for polls where you're just always going to post the polls to that, knowing that it's going to automatically pick that correct schedule, like let's say every Friday at 12 p.m., for example. And then when you go to the calendar, you just have to schedule it to that queue just like this. So you add your poll and then you just schedule it to the queue, knowing it's going to be at that perfect time. So you can just add the polls, or you can add a recurring question, for example, like if you just want, you know, how's my content this month? And then every single month ask that same question. And then that's a super easy way that you can pick up that queue into your analytics page and then export that data so that at the end of the year, it's automatic and you have all of those polls organized the right way. And then you just download them for each platform and then put it together and you have all the data you need for your audience feedback, for example. So you can take this pretty far with our poll scheduling feature. And if you have any questions, just let us know.